Hello.
Flipside Music presents the Denver Music Gear Podcast. Brought to you live from Denver, Colorado.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Denver Music Gear Podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Eric.
And we're here at Flipside Music in Denver, Colorado, talking about expression today. All sorts of expression nation devices. But
Toys.
all the toys.
Yeah.
The best toys.
Utility toys are fun.
They're not the sexiest things.
But they make your other things really sexy.
They make the other sexy things sexier.
Right. Yeah.
It's like I hate these analogies, but it's like the lingerie for the...
It's like a good pair of shoes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Completes
Or like
the
a
outfit.
belt. Like
Belt.
you need a belt.
Good hat.
Yeah.
I was on a mission for my gig hat for the longest time.
But it's like the lingerie for the... But yeah, like, you need accessories.
Mm-hmm.
A good hat. Oh, solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on the hunt for a good hat, too. Because I've been a ball cap wearer my entire life, but I would like to up my game.
Yeah, I'm the ball cap in the casual, normal work realm. But I did start... it's the jazz hat or whatever. You get a nice brim hat for when you've got little higher profile gigs and you just want to look a little bit nicer.
Yeah. But, like, not a bowler doesn't look good on everybody. It looks good on Dylan.
Yeah.
A fedora.
Ike wears that kind of, it's not a newsboy, but he has a different kind of style hat.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's not quite a cowboy hat, but it's
That direction.
in that direction on
Mm-hmm.
that too, on there.
The fancy hat I have it's like a flat-brimmed cowboy hat.
Yeah, my fancy hat, luckily my wonderful girlfriend steamed it and made it better because I just got shoved in the back of my van
Oh.
on there. So
Mm-hmm.
it kind of was like a little, which is kind of the way, I am. So it worked, but she made it look much nicer.
Nice.
Same with nice button-up shirt, kind of
Yeah.
all that stuff. And yeah, you kind of go out and you watch other bands. You see how they dress. They look sharp. Doesn't have to be suit and tie, but
I'm from, I come out of the theater. I grew up in the theater. So everything was like, we need to look cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should look like a team.
right.
That's my mentality of it. So yeah, it doesn't have to be suit and tie necessarily. Unless you're a ska band, then it works.
Yeah.
But, if you're all kind of looking similar,
Yeah.
all
similar
wearing
vibe.
soccer jerseys or something.
Yes, everybody's got something. You're not all. You don't have one person in ripped jeans and a t-shirt and chucks, and the other person's wearing a sport coat, and somebody else is wearing plaid pants.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little what's going on here, but.
Unless you're No Doubt or something, and then everyone can have their own personalities. But
Yeah, whatever.
But no, I like a cohesive looking band. I played in a ska band. We had a red, black, and white theme. So it wasn't you have to wear a suit and you have to wear this. It was just everyone wears something with a collar, black, red, and white.
Yeah, the jazz orchestra I played in was usually black on black. So
Mm-hmm.
black top,
Mm-hmm.
black pants. And I usually wore, as a bass player, especially playing upright, I don't like wearing a suit coat
Mm-hmm,
on there. But I had nice suit pants, nice black button shirt, tie, and I wore a vest.
Mm-hmm.
I wore a suit vest because that kind of filled it out and just made things look nicer. Some of the band members would just wear a black polo shirt, and I always thought, granted, he's probably a trombone player.
And you're
So they're
in the
sitting down.
spirit of it, but it's
Just try a little harder.
It's like being requested to wear 15 pieces of flair, but you should really wear 21 pieces of flair.
Right. Would you look at like TGI Fridays or something like that?
I was thinking of Waiting, that movie that's about working in a TGI Fridays, basically.
Oh, I was thinking of Office Space.
They're almost the same movie, honestly. They're probably in the same universe.
Probably.
But, yeah, a good accessory for your outfit is super important. I mean, you know, like a belt is very important.
Right.
You need it sometimes to keep your pants up. Sometimes you need an expression pedal to make your other things better.
Oh, 100%. I sold the LVX earlier today.
Oh, that
And
very much can benefit from an
And
expression
I think
pedal.
the expression part was one of the things that helped put this fine young gentleman into making the decision. Because I was like, you can have like 6 different expression options. And it can be either via a pedal, or it can be any of those modifiers, or anything else. And we've all had a lot of fun with our expression options on Monday nights.
This one especially, the photo modulator from Death by Audio.
Yes.
This is a wonderful piece of kit. Look how cute. Look how small it is. It's like the smallest expression
I
pedal.
try to tell this to everybody. I'm like,
Literally everyone should have one.
there's just fun.
There's no reason not to. It's $39.99. It's right here on the box. For that kind of money and the kind of fun you can have, like, I don't know if y'all out there tune in on Monday nights to Maris Monday that we do here at the shop, but there are a couple of the gentlemen in the group who will attach it to like a long extension cable and just whip it around.
Yeah, you
To
kind of
get-
wave it around and do some different things.
Yeah.
Gordo's got a light box he brings, and he just sets it on top, so he gets kind of some randomized
Yeah.
expression things that.
And it's so small. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily do this, but it just,
Plug that in, and you can do like theremin kind of style.
you can then add like a flashlight and be like, this would do different parameters about
Yeah.
as much control as you get. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have something like the new Canvas expression from Walrus Audio, which can literally do whatever you want it to do. It has dual outputs. It has MIDI in and out. You can control anything. The world is your oyster. Like, I have use for this with my IZ from Critter and Guitari. It's a video synthesizer.
Okay.
And because I'm playing guitar and it has 5 knobs on it that you can turn to manipulate the video, I can't do
Right.
both at the same time. I can program this to control all 5 controls
Oh, that's wild.
and set different ranges of where I want those controls to go when I sweep from heel to toe.
Okay.
So, like, they don't all have to go 100% to 0%. They can kind of do, like, whatever I want them to do. You can even invert it. So, like, you know, 2 knobs can go towards each other and away
Back
from
away.
each other. As
I
opposed
mean,
to
so
just
not
all,
even just the musical realm, but the light, just other realms.
all of it. If you can control it, this
Yes.
will control it.
That will work it.
Yep. And there's an online editor, so you can go in and it's really easy to tell it what ranges and, you know, if it's going forward or reversed,
Right.
which way. It's very, very simple. They made it very easy to use. I'll be honest. When I first heard it announced, I was like, it's just another dual expression pedal like this.
Right.
You know, simple. It will go up and down and turn your knob. No, it does so much more, and I kind of need one. Mainly just for the IZ.
Yeah.
Like, that alone. And then I could go into all the Maris things and also control stuff in there. and tell it
to do this.
But my two favorite things that came out this year so far are expression devices.
Right.
We've hit a pretty cool point in pedals.
Well, the fact about mirror stuff, but the fact that you can continually find more out of what you've already bought, and you don't feel the need to go buy another thing
Just to fill that space.
just fill that space. You've got like, oh, I can do this now.
And what's really cool about these things too is the deeper you go into like a Maris pedal, an LVX, let's say, the more things you're going to discover and realize, oh, I can do that controllable.
Yeah.
You can do that in all the Maris pedals.
Right.
There's the preamp section, and you can map the gain to an expression.
Right.
Done.
Ooh.
Now I have, your verse section is nice and clean, and when you go to the chorus, you just push down, and here comes this blooming. And you don't just have to do distortion. You can go distortion, length of decay on the reverb.
Yeah, you can make
turn the
everything
feedback up on the
right.
flange. You can do all sorts of things.
All of it.
Literally whatever you can imagine, it can do, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It, in the realm of the things we're talking about.
Right.
It won't blend your food.
No.
It does not dice. It does not slice. Unfortunately, it does not julienne.
Someday.
Someday.
A pedal that makes a smoothie for you.
Through MIDI, you could get this to turn on your blender. We could probably also set up another device that you could ramp the motor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting to some crazy places in this time. There's like robots everywhere. I was driving next to one yesterday.
Oh, those Waymos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was next to one this morning, and I'm like, is this thing gonna... It was like stopped. It was in the left lane. What was I on? Grant. And it was like stopped, and a car like kind of went around it. And then finally went, and then we were like at Spear, and I was like, is this thing gonna go where I think it's supposed to go? And it did, and I got away from it, and I was like, fine. That's great. But
There was one like right next to me, and I was like, "Get away from me, robot!"
it's so weird.
It's so weird.
I see them all over in that little Cap Hill area.
Mm-hmm. I saw one do an illegal lane change or an illegal turn.
Okay.
So that was nice.
Give it a ticket.
But you could definitely control your Waymo with this. You could probably set this up so when it's in heel down, you're not ordering the Waymo, and then when you go toe down,
It goes.
it orders the Waymo for you. With all this technology, it's
Probably. Yeah.
definitely doable through MIDI,
Yeah.
achievable. So this is the most like fully featured, most amazing, really well thought out expression pedal on the market at the moment. But if this is a little too much for you, we've always got, your very simple dual
expression.
dual
Boss.
expression. And this one's cool because you can set like your minimum
Yeah.
spot. So you do have a little bit of controllability.
On there, I had one of those for a few years, and I mean,
Solid.
Yes, the Boss stuff. I use their volume pedal
Oh yeah.
as well, which is great. I got, I'd used the Ernie balls for the longest time, and I liked them,
Mm-hmm.
but I got tired of fixing the
The string. Mm-hmm.
on there, which is not that hard, but it's still just, I just got tired of it. And so, yeah, I started with the Boss volume pedal. It was shortly after I got the LVX. I bought their expression pedal,
Mm-hmm.
and it was great. Like, their stuff is just built quality,
You can't go wrong with Boss.
and it works and stuff.
It's on like every touring band's board for a reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Living the brand. I ended up switching to the Expression Slider.
This is your actual.
Yeah, this is mine one because we sold our last one yesterday on that. But these are great, especially if you have that tabletop
Mm-hmm.
kind of set up on there where you can go through, and it just was like a little more fun just to kind of sit and play around, and it's cute.
And then they also, in this same form factor, make a thing called the Expression Ramper, which is a controllable ramp device that you can set like the minimum and the maximum. It has a random feature. You can one-shot.
Okay.
It has all sorts of things in this little compact.
Yeah, and I haven't played with the control so much. Is that kind of the same?
So this gives you access to a parameter.
Okay.
So you can set two different where you want it to go to, and when you hit it, it will go to
It'll
that
go to
parameter,
that, and then you can.
and then it'll go
move that.
back to your.
Okay.
So it's more like a stationary.
It's almost like a tap tempo for expression kind of thing.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is cool because again, it's like, what are you trying to achieve? Like, what thing in your brain are you trying to get to?
Right.
And all of these will get you there in different ways.
Well, and even on that, we didn't grab any too. I kind of just thought about this, but like foot switches, momentary foot switches,
Mm-hmm.
act as a tap tempo for the expression, or you can do other things. I used to use the little piano expression sustain pedals
Mm-hmm.
that you could do that stuff like on the Ocean's 11.
Mm-hmm.
You can use that for kind of your freeze
Mm.
thing on there as well. There's just all kinds of little. I got into an argument with a guy at a guitar shop in San Francisco when I was visiting there. We were hanging around, and this guy was talking about the Ocean's 11. I was like, oh yeah, those are great. You can do this freeze thing and blah, blah, blah. He goes, no, you can't. I said, yeah, you can. Just try it out, man. I'm like, I'm trying to tell you there's more this pedal does too. And, but yeah, like I ended up, when I had my shop, I was a guitar shop.
Mm-hmm.
But I sold a lot of sustain pedals
Mm-hmm.
just for that reason on there. And I was just like, oh yeah, you can do kind of some neat, cool things with this. And then, they're like under $20.
Yeah.
So,
And all it does is unlock features that you didn't even realize were there in some things.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, either a freeze or a tap or just,
or like on the afterneath, that it moves the drag knob.
Yep.
And you can actually use the afterneath as an instrument. You
Yeah.
can set the length and the decay all the way up. It'll start to self-oscillate. And then you can use the drag knob, which is set to their expression out. And then you have a theremin, basically. You can be like,
do some pitch bending. Yeah, we did that a while back on our
yeah,
podcast.
that's one of my favorite features of the afterneath
Yeah.
for sure. And because it's got all the modes, the different modes. It's got like pentatonic mode, minor, major, so you can play
whatever
scales.
you want.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Or there's like the free mode, so you can like theremin it,
Right.
and so you're like wee 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 wee. And I use one of these, the Dunlop volume expression, because it can be both. You can either use it as a volume pedal, or there's an internal dip switch that you switch to expression, and then you can use it as an expression pedal. And it's wonderful.
You can't use them at the same time, though.
You cannot. That's why
Okay.
there's the dip switch. Yeah.
So, because I know I've had people ask about that. And you're like, I want a volume expression pedal. And you're like, it doesn't.
I think is it more? One of the like.
Or like Donner.
Yeah,
We had something
they make one. It might be Donner,
Yeah.
but they make one that I believe is either or both.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't think it was very good because we had one come through. They're
well,
like
they're different.
they're like this big.
It-
That Donner stuff is terrible.
Well, and I don't know how many times you would want to expressionate something as you're turning the volume down,
Right.
because it kind of unless you're turning like the decay down on I guess that would work. So like as you're turning the volume down, you turn the decay down too, so it doesn't just wash out. If that's what you were doing,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's so many uses for all of these things that it's hard to like imagine them all.
Right.
But I think that's where all of this comes in eventually very handy, is when you're like, I would really like to turn 3 knobs on my Critter and Guitari IZ so I can play guitar and manipulate visuals at the same time.
Right. Or even just like, you know, the expression stuff I've done within various Maris pedals, and it's not always an expression pedal because your expression source can be some of the modifiers, like an envelope or a hold.
You can use things internally.
Yeah, and it was really handy to like, I would assign the mix to an envelope and like reverse that. So when I would just play harder, I could make things start to disappear a little bit more because I didn't want it there.
When you play harder, it
Harder.
like ducks
It would
a little bit.
Yeah, it would bring down that. And when I'd go back to playing soft, it was there. And so like that meant, because there was like one tune that we played where I kind of had this cool little tremolo-y thing going, and then it got real heavy, and I'd kick on a fuzz, but I didn't want the tremolo in that section. So I didn't want to have to do the quick tap of fuzz trem or trem fuzz kind of thing, but I would just click my fuzz on, I'd play really hard, and that would just kind of bring the mix down on that trem factor enough that it wasn't so prominent. It didn't necessarily go away 100%. But it wasn't, it was like a super choppy trem that I made.
What a clever use for that.
And it was...
Usually everyone's trying to turn things up and louder and more and this, that. That's a wonderful use of like, I'm going to hit it harder, but it's going to pull this thing back.
Down. Yeah, because the song is harder. I'm going to be hitting it harder anyways. And then I'm just going back to this cool little kind of groovy ditty thing.
What
on
a
the
clever
guitar
trick.
on that. And it was just, it was nice. And that's kind of the thing I try to push the Maris stuff on people for, is like, you really can make whatever you want. Like, and I'm like, I can just concentrate on playing my instrument now and not worry about which buttons I'm trying to hit, 2 or 3 things at a time and having to like change things up. I just like, next song I like hit a button for the sounds I want, and it might be very similar sounds to the last song that I just had, but slightly varied. And maybe I'm using an expression pedal or I'm using something else to just... Most of the time I've learned to dial things back as I've gotten older. It's like...
I think that comes with maturity.
Yeah, it's like, you know what, I need less right now. And so, or maybe it is just, I need a little bit more, and all I can do is either hit a little ramper thing or do something, just kind of, it's the salt in your dish.
Yeah.
I love using cooking analogies in the music world, because it's like, maybe you just need a pinch of salt. You don't need to add a whole bunch of this stuff. But that's where I think expression really can come in nicely, is you don't have to add like a whole flange pedal to your sound, but you can add a hint of flange to what you want.
Totally.
And just kind of add that little bit of spice, but it's not too much.
Well, I think that's, this is something I was actually thinking about the other day, is like when you're younger and you're first getting into all this stuff, your tendency is to just like turn all the knobs on the amp all the way up, turn everything just cranking things all the time. But then you like start to learn and you realize, oh, that's not how gain staging works.
Right.
That's not how this works. Oh, if you don't do that, this works better. This works more favorably.
Right.
Or whatever. And yeah, you do get to the point where you're like, well, I don't need more. Sometimes I now need less. Or like an underdrive or something.
Yeah, just a little bit. One of the coolest experiences I had one year was back in Eau Claire. We had a lot of great recording studios around there, and a lot of great engineers. And I was lucky to become friends with a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they came into my small little version of what Flipside was and stuff. And one of them was trying out some compressor pedals.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy he wasn't a guitar, he was like truly like an engineer, producer guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like wasn't someone that would go out and gig.
Mm-hmm.
But like his career was working the controls and making everybody sound good. But he was looking for a good compressor for his studio pedal and gave him a couple. And the way he approached that pedal compared to what all the guitar players did was just mind-blowing. And it sounded really good. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'll take this one. And I was like, cool on there. But like, it wasn't diving in. In fact, most of the things was turning it down, seeing how. But it really did make things. And it was a great compressor, too. I forgot which one he got.
Because like with compression, sometimes you just need a little.
Just a little bit.
A little to bloom things into.
Yeah, not squish it.
We're not sustaining everything. We're not.
No, you just want to add a little bit. And that's the first time I'd ever seen someone do that. And as the other engineers would come in and stuff, and those guys were players too, you know, like I played in a band with one of them, which was great. Worked a lot with. Jamie was one of my favorite people, and he very much thought outside the box, you know, and he was very much like, let's just turn all the knobs and see what happens, kind of thing. And he was fun to work with. But yeah, all of them were way more intentional with like living in the middle, living at the left, living on there, and didn't have to turn everything all the way up all the time, which was a like different change from what you saw most people doing with their pedals. It's like, well, let's get more. And I started doing that. Like, to me, a phase. Someone asked me last week too about what's my favorite envelope filter, and I gave him kind of my opinion was based upon what we sell a lot of, because I don't personally use an envelope filter very much, because I never found one that worked well in a live setting as well as it did in the studio setting on there. It was always too many variables and stuff. And I actually went with using a face pedal, like pretty much turned almost off on there, and used the attack of my hands to kind of get that wow kind of thing. And it just was more consistent for me on that, as opposed to like sometimes it would just be too woofy, or like all my low end was gone, or just you know, that whole EQing of everything was like, what was the sound person doing to my signal? You know, like I remember I almost blew up the woofers at like this one venue one time. And
with filter pedals, that's a real possibility, for sure.
They're like, yeah, you can't use that. I was like, oh man. But maybe if I had an expression pedal, I could have dialed it back.
Yeah.
But
and if you had like a Maris pedal, I'm sure there's an envelope in there that would work.
I mean,
and then you could set the, min and the max
and all that stuff
in the Maris pedal, or if you only had this, you could do it in the settings of this.
Right.
So many options. So many options.
Where was this 20 years ago?
It definitely was not even in the brain, I don't think. Because 20 years ago, there was no walrus. There was barely Keeley.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 20 years ago. So that was at 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was cool stuff out there.
There was, we still had electro-harmonics, and
We had electro-harmonics.
Boss was rocking.
Yeah, Boss was rocking. We had like Snarling Dogs. Made some.
Oh, those wahs were very
They
cool.
were great.
Aesthetically, I liked the foot.
Yeah. On there, but there, I mean, that's kind of when you were starting to see that new stuff. Akai was doing some really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had the original Headrush looper,
Yeah.
delayed looper
Mhm.
thing on there, and they had their one bass one, was it the discombobulator? Like that thing was wild, and actually, like I had a space station which I would stupidly traded in for like $75.
Oh man.
I should have kept that thing. And I thought it was a looper when I ordered it because I didn't know what it was. And I was like, I want the space station. And I get it. And I had never played with a ring mod or anything before.
Just think all the fun things you could do with expression and those things.
Well,
now.
that kind of had that already on it. That
Oh,
was,
sure.
That was like the original whammy kind of thing.
It was the yellow whammy, right? Like it was kind of in the
Yeah, it was
same-
yellow.
Mhm.
That was part of the series. They did a modulation one, the space station one, and the whammy one, I think, on there. And yeah, I mistakenly ordered a space station, not knowing. I didn't even know what it was. I'd heard about it from somebody, and I went to the local guitar shop. I was like, give me one of these things, man. He's like, you got to pay for it first. I was like, all right. Because he's like, nobody wants these things right now.
Nobody
Now
still wants them. I mean, like some people want them.
the space stations?
Yeah.
Those things are like $900.
No, I know, but like only the people who know
I want one.
know. But the cool thing about a lot of that stuff is we could recreate almost all of it.
Yeah, nowadays you can kind of go through and like refine that. And
And the things you didn't like about it, you can customize.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. But even things like adding, we get asked about the whammy a lot
Mhm.
here. And there's, the pitchfork was one that we would sell a lot. And you're like, just add an expression pedal.
And it is a whammy.
And you've got a whammy that, like, works better and doesn't take that dumb power supply that
was it like
you need to
14
have-
volt or something?
Well, it's an AC and not a DC.
Mhm.
That's the main difference.
Mhm.
And nobody uses those anymore. And so now you got to bring this, and the bricks are huge on them.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes up like half of a outlet, the power strip.
Mm-hmm.
You can't use your power supply that you just spent a couple $100 on to use all your other cool pedals that you got. So, and then Boss just came out with their Excess
Oh yeah.
ones too, and which are great.
That thing's super rad.
Those are both of them. The small one, which you could also, that one you can do the hold, I think, and do kind of a whammy thing.
But then you could also pair it with
But you could pair it with an expression pedal, and you've essentially got a whammy and a smaller footprint
mm-hmm.
that will use a regular power supply.
And you can put the expression part wherever. Doesn't
Wherever
have
you
to
want,
go like
right.
right next to the.
Yeah, you don't have to have them. You can have that thing set off to the side a little bit too.
Mhm.
And that is kind of the beauty, is setting up your board. When you have expression like that, you can put things a little more out of the way,
Mm-hmm.
because there was someone who bought a pedal board last week who was kind of asking about just advice. They had never done it before,
Mhm.
which is, if you've never done it before, I can kind of see where it's an all-day thing for me
Oh yeah.
to redo my board on there. But that is one of those things where you're like, well, you want to have things that you're going to need your feet touching in those access. So you don't necessarily want things straight in the line
Mm-hmm.
of like, the signal chain. But maybe like your signal chain starts here, and your next pedal in your chain is going to be over here, but it's because you don't need to really touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then your thing can come back down here, or something you're going to be touching, and an expression pedal, set that off to the side, and you can tuck whatever weird thing you got
Mm-hmm.
up and out of the way.
So you don't have to reach for a knob. You can just expressionify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put your foot down.
Put your foot down.
Flick it with your finger.
Yeah, and see, this is...
Whip it around on your cable.
I'm looking forward to a device where I can have 3 of these, because this is cool, this has its uses, and this has its uses.
Mm-hmm.
But where I can, like, select between them as a device.
Like
so
a
I can...
like a 4-to-1 mixer for your expression sources.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's send
I either need...
Jamie that earthquake area.
I was actually hoping Old Blood would do it.
Mm.
And here you go, Old Blood.
Honestly,
Hey Brady, try expression. Try expression.
I mean, Walrus is killing it with their Canvas stuff.
I mean, hey Colt, try expression.
Transpection.
It's so like try 3. So
Right.
I could use like a foot pedal, a slider, and photo modulator.
Yeah.
So I could use the 3 and then select. And if it was MIDI controllable, then you could like per preset have it select which one.
Okay, now you're just nerding out a little.
It's a little, it goes far.
Yeah.
And then what would be wild is if there was like a destructo button or something that turns all 3
All
on.
of them on.
And they'll like compete with each other, and like that would be awesome.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, like we're so, and this is the thing, we're very spoiled to be like, oh, I want to now be able to select between the 3. We're at a pretty cool place to have those options.
Yeah,
even.
I mean, it really is. And I will say, like, one thing is like, I'm going to segue to our next segment.
I was just gonna say we got about 10 minutes left,
Yeah.
so let's like.
We'll do this.
We
So,
were gonna do food, but we got a better topic.
You're talking about programming all this stuff, right? And at some point, because I've been on a kind of the anti-tech rage with some of my students about practicing,
What?
Like-
You mean I can't buy just another reverb pedal and get better? I sure try. I keep trying.
I mean, you should buy another reverb pedal and say it's going to make you better.
But what do you think I should do instead?
So, but I mean, like, so this is what I've been telling, because I've got,
Should I practice?
just like practicing, and like, and it's how do you practice though, right?
Mhm.
Like I have a lot of my students that they're older and they've really embraced all this technology,
Mhm.
and I doubt any of them are watching, but if you are, I'm still talking to you. But like, they're pulling up these apps, they're pulling up these tabs,
Mhm.
and they're, and I tell them to practice their scales,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, okay, they don't fight it. They want to learn this stuff,
Mhm.
right? But they learn these patterns, and then I'm like, all right, well, let's go back to the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Basics of all rock and roll, like your 1-4-5 kind of stuff, and simple things. And I was like, let's learn the weight by the band
Mm-hmm.
on
Okay.
there. And he's like, all right, let me pull up my app. And it's basically like giving him the chords, which is a cool thing. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, I definitely, if I'm in a hurry and I gotta learn I gotta learn 40 songs for a gig tomorrow night, like, I might cheat and look up some
Oh.
chord changes quick. Like,
Yeah. Again, we're at a beautiful place where we have all this.
it's a nice thing to do. But I was like, well, let's just use our ears. It's not that hard of a song on there. And that's part of it, is like, we don't have, I put it to him, I was like, when you're using this app, right, it's like doing your homework with the teacher's manual.
Mm-hmm.
You got the answer right there. You're not struggling with anything.
There's no synapse connection.
And, it's been probably 5 years since I played the weight
Mm-hmm.
in a group. You know, like it was part of a repertoire in a group I played with a while ago, and like part of it came down with that bum 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 bum, and I was like, took me a second, but I learned it not listening even to that song, but just singing it out,
Mm-hmm.
bum, bum, and like playing because I know what it's supposed to sound like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've listened to the song,
Mm-hmm.
I know it,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like playing. Dun, no, that's not it. Dun, it's just walking down the scale. Okay, that's what it is. And he's like, "How do you do that?" I was like, "Well, I'm using my ears. I'm singing things out,
Mm-hmm.
you know." And like, we were talking about using metronomes earlier, right? And it's
My new favorite thing. I've recently embraced practice as a thing. I've never had a routine. I still don't have a routine, but I am actually doing it more.
right.
Like
And
real practice.
and you make it's like going to the gym and you actually have like a routine that you work on, and not just. I mean, I'm still guilty of this, but not just get on the exercise bike and watch a TV show for 30 minutes
Yeah.
and call that a workout.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like no, I'm gonna go. use
That's picking up your guitar and playing all the songs that you already
that you already know, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
It's
It's
reinforcing.
fun. I can sit on the massage bed, you know, the hydro beds, you know, get a little afterwards.
But you're
Feel
not
good.
you're not building any muscle.
Right, you're not getting there, and like when I've been in those modes, it feels really good,
Yeah.
and
Because you see the progress happens.
yeah, the progress happens, and you're like, and you're on it, and you're just like, you're just everything's better about it on there, and so when you sit down and just go, like, no, struggle with something,
Mhm.
like you're not good,
And
none of you are good at what you do.
you know what?
You can improve.
That's been the hardest part, honestly, is when I hit a little bit of struggle, but it's the no, just do it again,
Right.
slow it down, really get it under your fingers,
Try and sing it, try and do this and stuff.
and then you'll get over that wall, or
you get
you'll
over
break
that.
right through it.
Yeah,
It'll-
you do what you got to do on there, and like, and you know, sometimes these things like loopers, I think, are a great practice tool
great tool.
to play with, and because we all have that little retail therapy that we go through.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh, I want to get this. I want to get this. I mean, sometimes a new instrument
It can
can help, right?
I-
Sometimes even a setup.
the
though.
guitar I play has made me want to play guitar.
Yeah.
It's new. It's 2 years old now, but
But it's still something you enjoy. Like if you haven't, sometimes it's just new strings or whatever too.
I'm
like,
ready for that.
for like
honestly.
what you know. There's things you can always do to just make the playing. I just restrung my acoustic last weekend, and like I play it more
Mm-hmm.
now because the old strings were like, ugh, this sounds terrible.
And
I'm
if the
terrible.
instrument gets you to play, that's the best instrument.
Right.
Doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. If it makes you want to play.
Yeah, if you like it and stuff. But like sitting down and making those experiences a little more beneficial
Mm-hmm.
on there, a little more enjoyable, and then it makes the struggle a little less hard
For sure.
on there.
Yeah.
But like, you know, but you still got to sit down and actually do the work.
That's
there.
and you know, I think that's an important piece to the puzzle that I didn't fully grasp until maybe the last 10 years or so. And I've been doing this since I was 12. I'm 43 now.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do the work. And work isn't a dirty word. I used to think work was a word. But doing the work it's kind of the point.
Yeah, it's
It's-
the fun part.
It's the
Yeah.
journey. It's the
Like you feel good when you're done with it. You're like, I did this. I mean, there was a
You know what I can almost do now because of practice? Sweet picking.
yeah.
I thought that would be an impossible feat to overcome. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel cool.
Yeah, no, it's there's one of those. There's a Josh Ritter tune that I learned, and it's like it's not a hard song by any means, but it's got this finger picking pattern that goes pretty steadily through the whole thing. And I actually would stay after work for about an hour and a half by metronome, and
here you got that canvas. This is a cool tool. This is the canvas rehearsal, and this has a click built in and a timer, all sorts of really cool tools to get you to practice.
Yeah,
to rehearse.
Rehearse on there.
But yeah, you get out
Yeah,
your
but
metronome.
you know, it's that, and you practice that. You got to keep that going the whole song on there. And like,
And if you struggle, or sorry, go ahead.
well, it was one of those things where like I had to slow it way down just to get that consistency going, and then you'd build it back up, and that's something I used to in my place when I had it set up was like I wasn't always very busy, so I just would practice right there at my desk, and I had a book of etudes that I would just kind of sight read. I'd pick one and like I'd try playing it at whatever the tempo they said, and then I'd be like, nope, and I'd go way back until I could play through it well, like, without any mistakes and with some other, and then I'd speed it up, and then till I could play through it without any mistakes, and then, but not just without mistakes, but with like accents to make it sound good. And then by the time I got to it, and it might be 2 hours of just the same song for no reason other than, well, I'm not doing anything else right now. So this seems like a good use of my time.
I think you brought up a really important piece to the thing that, again, I would just play to the thing and the record or whatever, and struggle through it and whatever. But if you slow it down, you can really get it under your hands. You can really get it into your brain.
Yeah, you're not fumbling through and like a couple little 16th notes, this little small area, and that's where you would spend like maybe 30% of your time. 70% you got it. You're like, all right, I got most of this, and then this one little spot, and like I remember there's a old jazz band chart that we did where the bass and the trombones had something together, and it ended with this kind of thing. And like I sat down, and again, it was like 2 hours. One of my bandmates, who was a college music major at the time, like we had a rehearsal that morning. That was a great band, this funk band I was in. We had 9 a.m. rehearsals for a funk band. It was so good because like we all came on point, and we all had stuff to do after 2 hours. So we were like, boom. And but he was like, no, he goes, man, you can play that. He goes, just slow it down. He goes, start half speed. He goes, you'll have it in 2 hours. And sure enough, it was like 2 hours that I had this thing. And then the next week, we were doing, in one of the blues bands I was playing, and we were adding this Allman Brothers tune. And the end was, and then going, it was in a different key. It was an A instead of like B flat or something like that.
But
So
were they
just,
basically quoting
it was
that
exactly
other
the
thing?
same thing. And I was like, I know this. We were just jamming, and like I was like, he had put this on a playlist or whatever, and I was like, they're doing this jam, and I'm like, oh, it's the same thing. It's like, this is awesome.
And I already practiced this for that other thing.
Yeah,
now
I got
can do
this
it.
thing down now. It was great. And like after that, it was just everything kind of simplified a lot more.
And I think that's a key to the whole thing too. Is the more you do this, the simpler all of it gets.
Yeah, you just kind of go, oh, I can.
Because it's all
play
kind
this.
of the same, for the most part.
Yeah,
I mean, music is music. It's not like there's like.
and like the
It's
way
not like metal is different music than jazz.
the notes are the same notes.
Same notes, yeah.
They're all using the same notes. And like again, when I teach, I use a lot of cooking analogies. You know, you've got certain ingredients in your pantry or your fridge or whatever, and it's like, well, do you want to make something that's Italian, something that's Cajun, something that's like, barbecue, Hispanic, good old Midwestern, tons of gravy and blah, blah, cheese.
I was like, poutine?
But it's like, it's all the same stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, how do you want to...
It's all potatoes and cheese and meat.
Right. How do you want to spice it up?
Yeah.
So that's on you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, music's a fun journey. And weirdly, the more you put into it, I guess like most things, not weirdly, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
Yeah.
And that includes practice. Because, I'll try and wrap this up really quick with an anecdote about the drummer from Animals as Leaders, Matt Garska. This person is insane in the best way possible. They have so much control over their limbs and their mind and rhythm and polyrhythms and being able to count things. I did a clinic with him, and he was able to verbalize every single beat of anything he would ever play. Mm-hmm. All these different vocalizations were a different thing, but he could vocalize it all. There was no guessing in any of it.
I
playing
showed,
in 7/4 and 11 whatever, and
it was last week.
Insane.
I was I had a student that was doing like a kind of reschedule at after hours. Normally I teach before we open, and I had just seen a video of this guy that I forgot who it was, but he said two things. He's like, one, practice with the metronome, and two, he's like, learn to sing your part.
Jeff Skunk Baxter.
That's it. Did you watch that
I
video?
saw the same video.
Yeah. And I held it, and I went to my student, and I was like, this is what it is. Learn to sing those parts. And he was, I forgot who, was it the Oscar Peterson? Was that the piano player he was talking about? He was talking about a piano player that would sing on there and stuff too. And I've actually got an old Johnny Griffin album that Art Blakey is the drummer on it. And during his solo, you hear him singing his part during the drum solo thing. You can hear it. And that's what I would hear whenever I'd go to these jazz festivals. When I was a high school student, we would go compete at these things. And then I would go to them. Usually I was working a booth or something, and I always go in and watch a few of the bands just to see what the judges would say to their students, because then I knew how to critique my students better too. But I would listen to things, and they would all make them sing parts. And then playing in a jazz orchestra, and a lot of these members were band directors as well too. So they would be the sax sections are is it doo-wah or is it doo-wah? Just those little things that and they're all marking their things, and they go in there, and so they're like da 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 da, it's all those hits, not da 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 da. It's different, but they're
da 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 da.
Where are you putting those accents on that
How
stuff?
How long are your things?
Is it da? Is it dot? Is it dit? How short do you want it? And that's something that you just really gotta practice and learn.
And there is no shortcut to the level of mastery of someone like Matt Garska.
Right.
There is no shortcut. You just have to do it. And the sooner you buy a metronome, the better. Because I used to think I was pretty hot shit, and then saw a video, and I was not in time at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And then years of, running lights to bands, to the best artists on the planet who are tight,
right,
made me better.
Right.
And I'm very grateful for it. But without that time with the metronome, those people playing to a click, recorded music, I wouldn't have gotten better. I wasn't going to get any tighter by watching Netflix.
Right.
Got to metronome it up.
Yeah. And
lately, it's been my favorite tool. I, I guess it'll be the second time in this episode I'll say it. When this
I gotta
was
buy
announced, well, when it was announced, I was like, who is that for? Who needs it? Who wants it? Who cares?
Everybody needs it.
And now I agree. And I want one and need one because I don't want to have to go to my phone to pull up a click. I don't want to have to interrupt my guitar playing to go to my phone.
Right.
I just want a tool for it. I just want a metronome.
Yeah.
Which I've been using a pocket operator from Teenage Engineering, which is a little drum machine, but you can then set it to
Just
be clicks, which has been great. But I also think a dedicated metronome would be cool too,
right.
because well, I got other uses for the pocket operator. But that's probably a good place to wrap up for the day. Utility pedals aren't sexy, but they are totally awesome.
They'll make you better.
They're going to make you better.
Yeah.
And they'll make everything you already own
Better.
better. You'll be better. And especially if you buy this one, because then you can practice properly. Practice with intention is, I think, the way to go, right?
Oh, yes. 100%.
Because wandering, meandering when I pick up the guitar doesn't help.
But not all who
Not
wander are
much.
lost, Jacob. So.
And there's time for that, right?
There's definitely time for it. You definitely want to do both. I encourage both, you know. It's like,
Because all work and no play makes
Practice.
Jacob a dull boy.
but then like, yeah, and what I tell my students is like, take an intentional time of practice. And then go wander around, but use what you just practiced, you know, like,
Well, now you have a new path to wander down.
yeah, you've got kind of, you did the work of clearing a path, right? And now you can go just enjoy it. And like,
It's almost
spend,
like you
spend time, you know, like playing G to C, right? I've spent countless hours of noodling amongst those two chord progressions.
Let's see, where else would it be?
And, but just even adding like little melody lines within each chord, doing, you know, maybe it's a long time of G, maybe it's sometimes in C or whatever, you know, like I love that. I usually will capo things up in that position, you know, if I'm playing in a group, just because I'm like, I can make this sound
Mhm.
really pretty for certain things.
The open ringing notes are really cool.
Yeah, using
Mhm.
those open strings and some of the other stuff, but I'm like, yeah, go like practice, you know, this. I go, and then just go play around in it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you just did some work, now just go like hang out. Maybe you just sit and just,
And if you're stuck and bored on major scale, like learn
they're like, what happens if I
Phrygian.
play a flat 5?
Phrygian out of nowhere.
Right,
Things will change. You'll feel different.
right.
Your brain starts working in a different way. What was that one? The Hiroshima scale
I have no idea.
that I learned for Page of Madness.
Oh,
And it opened a whole world of sonic space that I didn't even know how to access before. The notes are all there. They're always there.
right.
But playing them in that order made me think different.
Right.
And then that next hour of play or whatever was,
Just opened a new door for you to,
yeah, it was a
Explore.
whole new room that I'd never been in. It was so cool, so much fun. And it's cool to like access that
right,
then in other things now.
right.
Your vocabulary has just become bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all it is.
All right. Well, I think that we'll do it for today, but we'll send you off to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go play.
Go play. Go practice.
Use a metronome.
Plug some stuff in. Slow it down when you need to.
Take it slow.
Yeah. And please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Tell them all about us here in Denver, Colorado at Flipside Music, where you can get a canvas rehearsal, a canvas expression, a photo modulator, a Boss EV30, an expression slider, or a control knob from Electro Harmonics. Come see us. We got all your expressionation needs covered. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
And on that note, we'll have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And oh shit, hold on. Yes. And we'll catch you
On the flip side.
on the flip side.